guys asked for it. We're doing it. We're doing a scavenge hunt today. I'm going to be going to 5 different banks, getting 10 rolls out of each denomination that they have, as well as any halves that they have or anything cool like any big dollars. And we're going to put together a scavenge hunt. It's going to be pretty long because we're basically hunting a whole box of quarters, nickels, pennies, and dimes, and possibly halves. So may do it a little bit differently, but you guys said you wanted to see a scavenge hunt. I'm doing it, so let's get in there and get some coins. Well, the first bank didn't give me too many problems, except they would only give me 3 rolls of quarters. Everything else, I got the full 10 rolls. So we'll see if we can pick up the difference elsewhere, so we get a full roll of quarters to hunt. But on to the next bank. Bank number 2 yielded some cool rolls. We've got mostly Fed wrapped, but some customer wrapped in the quarters, and there is $2.50 in halves at the very bottom. So we've got some halves. On to bank 3. Bank number 3, 10 rolls of each, no problem. On to bank number 4. Bank number 4, good news, bad news. Didn't have all the nickels for 10 rolls, and 6 of the quarter rolls have these X's on them, which means these are more than likely someone's dump. But the good news, they had $90 in halves. So it's nice to add those to the hunt as well. There's some different wrappers in there, so hopefully we'll score with those. One more bank to go. Let's get it. This is actually the next day. I'm running errands up north, and this is a bank I've never been to before. Stopped in for rolls, and we got them. And we've got some good news, some bad news. Good news, I asked them for halves. Guy had $2 in loose halves, and take a look at that one on top. 1965, 40%, or I think that's the only one. We've got silver asking for loose halves. We've got nickels and dimes. They didn't have any pennies and quarters, but the quarters are all, I believe, yep, Wilma Mankiller uncirculated rolls. And I know there's some errors and varieties you can look for in these, but I've never seen these in circulation, so it'll be cool to crack these open. So we'll do that when we get back. All right, we've got a hunt. Let's do our scavenge hunt. All right, we're back, and we have all 5 bank pickups here with us in the studio. This is bank pickup number 1, and we're just going to go through them. I'll start with the quarters, dimes, then nickels, and then pennies. If I have something in the quarters, I'll bring in it. If not, I'm just going to go straight to dimes. Now I'm going to recap each denomination because I don't want this video to get too long. And you know what I'll be looking for? Silver, W's, errors, varieties, war nickels, buffaloes, wheat cents. So we're going to be looking for all those things, and at the worst case scenario, I'll be bringing in for a recap at the end if I find nothing at all, but hopefully we do. All right, bank 1, what do you got? Let's find out. Well, our first 2 finds aren't going to come until the nickels. Nothing in the quarters or dimes. We already found a 1959 out of Denver. We've got a 40s find. Thought it was silver for a second, that toning, but it's a 1940 with some crud from Philadelphia. A few rolls later, we have another 59 and a 51 Philly, and I just see 2 finds here in these nickels. This is going to be our second 40s, the Hunt 1948, with some cool zebra toning from Philly, but we also have a foreign. I don't recognize this one. It's 100 lire from Italy. Very cool coin. I don't think I've ever found one of these. As I go to drop it, that's embarrassing. But anyway, we have a foreign. Very cool stuff. Just dumped out the next roll, and we've got another foreign. And I know I recognize this one. We found it before. But this is 20 Helvetia, 1993. I forget what country this is from, but this is our cool foreign, and it's got a really nice strike in. Not a lot of dings on it. Our second foreign of the box, and it's not a Canadian. Very cool. A few rolls later, and I've got 2 more 40s finds. I've got a 1941 Philly and a 1940 also Philly. And in our last roll of nickels, we have another 1940 out of Philly. We also had another 1959 added to this 50 stack. So the nickels yielded some very nice results. On to the pennies. First roll of pennies, and I thought there was going to be something interesting in here, and there is. This is going to be a British penny from the year 2000, and it's a little bit bigger than a regular penny here in America because it was very difficult to push it out of the sleeve, and I thought there's probably going to be a bigger foreign in there. So we've got a cool foreign also from the pennies. A couple rolls later, and we did find it in 2009, but look at this. They were definitely putting these foreigns in here. 3 Canadians in a row, 2007, 81, and 77. So it makes me definitely think that they were definitely putting those foreigns in there knowingly. So we'll finish up the pennies and see what else we find. Well, that's going to do it for bank number 1. No wheat cents in any of those rolls, which is a little bizarre, but it is what it is. Kind of makes me think that maybe they've already been gone through. Anyway, I've got the coins from the second bank pickup, and we do have some halves to go through, but I just don't think there's anything in there. Definitely not silver, but I will check for all errors and varieties, and I'll bring you in on the first find, starting with the highest denomination first. Man, this pickup is rough. The only thing I really have is a toner, which I usually don't set aside, but this 87D has some really cool toning there at the bottom, and I don't know, really nice strike also there above the Monticello, so I'm going to hang on to it. But we finally have our first 2 finds. It's going to be a 1940 S and another 1940. Also an S. Interesting. Very next roll, and now we're getting all the finds. 1941 Denver. Halfway through the pennies, and we finally have our first find. It's a foreign. Go figure. 95 out of Canada. Next to last roll of pennies, and we finally have a wheat cent from the second bank pickup, and I can only see the date because of the crud, but that's a 1941. I could see the O and 1 cent. Finally, a wheat cent. Well, that's going to do it for the second bank pickup. I hope that the other 3 are better because it definitely felt like that had been gone through. Not too much to show for our efforts, but it is what it is. Time for the third bank. We're finally going to get a find with the dimes. We're going to have a foreign. It's just a Canadian, I believe. Yep. 2008. I just dumped the first roll of nickels out, and I see what I believe, yep, is a war nickel. We've got silver in the hunt finally, 1943. It's a 35% silver war nickel. Minted in San Francisco. That is good to see. We've got a war nickel on the board. Next roll of nickels, next find. This is a foreign Canadian, 1983. Into the nickels further, and we did get a 59, but now we've got a 49. And this one is not going to be a semi-key date, just a Philly. Last roll of nickels, and we are going to have a foreign. Look at this ender, 20 cent euro. Surprised the bank didn't catch it. Looks like it's going to be the only foreign in the roll. That's crazy. 20 cent euro, 2002. Same roll. I forgot we have 57 to add as well, but now we've got a 1940 to add from Philadelphia. Into the penny nows. Into the pennies now. Got a couple of 09s. We have 2 more Canadians, though, to join the collection. That's all that Bank 3 is going to deliver for us. It's time to go into Bank 4. We did get silver, but we don't have a ton of it yet. I'm hoping for some finds in the quarters and dimes, but you can see that these rolls here, most of these from this bank pickup, I think are already going to be searched because I think there's someone's discards with those X's on all the way around on most of the rolls. We did get halves at this pickup, so I'm excited for that. Hopefully we'll get something in there, but I'll bring it on the first find. We'll start with the halves. Well, the halves are going to yield fruit. Just dumped the 4th roll out just about, and looky here. We've got a 40% silver, 1966. How about that? We have silver in the halves, and we're not done yet with the rolls, so hopefully there's more to come. Well, nothing else in the halves, and the quarters were bust as well, and those marked rolls were definitely someone's discards. They were all my Angelou or Sally Ride quarters. But I just started the dimes, and look what I see staring back up at me on roll number 2. We're going to have a 90% silver dime, I do believe. Yes, we are. It is rough. It is toasty, but it is a 1954 Denver silver dime in the box. So we've got 90% silver. It's really not in the box, but you know what I mean. No more silver dimes, so we moved on to the nickels. And check out this older looking style wrapper. Now, that doesn't always mean that we're going to get older finds, but all these nickels look really, in fact, there's no modern nickels in there. We do have a Canadian 76 in great shape, but all these nickels are older Jeffersons. And yeah, right here's a 49. They feel a little tacky, if that makes any sense, 49 Philly, but they are all pre-1980 so far, so I don't think there's going to be anything else in here. It'd be great if these were all like semi-key dates. A lot of 64s. Some of these are in really nice shape, but I will go through them after I finish filming this and see if any of them have any full steps or anything, but if not, we'll keep going. Let's roll. We've got a 47 this time, and it is minted in Philadelphia. Next to last roll of pennies, and we finally have another wheat cent. It's a 1958 Philly, but at least it's in good shape, and I am just a little bit surprised at the lack of wheat cents that we have in these hunts. We do have two more 50s nickels to add as well. Well, we're going to move on to bank number 5, and we know that we have silver already, as I showed you in the car. We've got a 40%er from the 4 loose ones that we have. So we know we've got silver already. Nothing too special about the rest of those. Now, most of these rolls, I'll just grab a few, look like they're uncirculated. We know that we've got Wilma Mankiller rolls, so I haven't seen those yet. And these nickels look like they're also uncirculated as well. So I figured we'd just go ahead and open one of them on camera so that you can see what I see. Yep, and these are all going to be Wilma Mankiller. The first time I've seen these in circulation, so it's kind of cool to see them. If I can pull one out. So I'm going to pull the best one out and add it to my collection, save a few good examples, and then go from there. And we'll let you know what we find. I'm going to do the quarters. They're all going to be Wilma Mankillers, actually, and then we'll move on to the rest. And then we're approaching the end here, so we might be doing a recap soon. Well, that's going to do it for this scavenge hunt. You know what? It was a lot of fun to do this. It was fun driving around getting the coins. And it was fun to do it because it always changed the variety every few groups of 10 minutes. I was doing a different variety, and it was really fun. Nothing much on that last pickup, but not surprising because most of the coins were uncirculated. Actually, some of the dimes and then most of the nickels were as well. So a little bit of a bummer there, but yeah. We got the most interesting finds from each bank pickup there in the center. Those 2 foreigns from Bank 1 is what I'm calling the most interesting find. That really cool 87D toner is what I'm calling the most interesting find from Bank 2. Bank 3, that 43S war nickel. Best find there, and then the 40% 66 half and the 54D 90% dime from Bank 4, and then of course the 65 40% from Bank 5. And here are the rest of the finds. You can see Bank 1 we had those foreigns as well. Bank 2 we had 1 foreign. Bank 3 we had a lot of foreigns. Bank 4 we had 1 foreign, nothing in Bank 5. And then as for the American coins, see our stacks of 40s and 50s and the pennies as well. So a nice wide variety of finds. Not a ton of wheat cents. Only 2 found in the entire hunt, which is surprising. So it is what it is, though. When you're hunting customer wrapped rolls, you get what you get. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, but I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and you want to see more scavenge hunts in the future, let me know in the comments below. Appreciate a thumbs up. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting the bell for notifications. And remember, it's always a mystery until you crack open those rolls and you find what you got on the inside. Thanks for taking the time to watch, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one.